And so that's how it is. You got gangs, and cults, that came together, what I'm saying, against a child. So, and to force the child to do or say things, destroy anybody who cared enough to defend the child. You feel me now? And that's what's the situation. So, a child you're born into the world, you have no, you know nothing other than, before that point, trauma. They start early, you feel me? Then, that's it. That's all you know. From where they start. So they had cults come together for this purpose. To force a child, down, the framing, that they had premeditated, pre-planned for you. And so, it's, the thing is, if I somehow, I don't know, it's impossible, what I'm saying, as a child, like a child, because you'll never see this happen to their children. So it's impossible as a child, ages anywhere from 3, to 5, 6, 7, whatever, without any teaching, and with the destruction of, people, places, and things that kill, to defend you or try to protect you with things. For example, it's impossible to have the wisdom, understanding to say or do things that would thwart or repel, this gravity or this measure of torture and things, placed against your life. And the thing is like a paradox, because if I somehow would have, had known or possessed the intelligence, to say or do things, certain things, then I would have never had this torture tape, But it's like they tried to create circumstances and force certain reactions out of me, that they could use that, on the child, reactions of it in a child, and use that to justify or confirm or, to fabricate consent. It's like forging somebody's signature. So that's pretty much what it was. It's like forgery. They tried to forge the signature of a child, through a lot of, hidden, strategies and, psychological torture and things they put on a child. Abuse, pretty much, it's child abuse. But it was did by artists and, and structures, corruption and things, or collusion between them, to create, to forge, pretty much to forge a child's signature or something like that, to justify them making money at the expense of the same person, child. And with me being Elijah, then everybody know, man, God gave me an anointing when I was born, ever since. So, all the facts are there, But it's not really something that I would say is my fault. It's not something that's my fault, but yet by me having this torture, integrated, in my flesh to torture me, it's like kidnapping, where these people place their things on me, like slavery. Like literally, I'm probably the last slave left in America. Like I'm literally a slave. They just remotely use torture things they put in the child, and they own me like that. People, places, and things, and when I, had the sense and the understanding to be able to discern what really transpired and happened, that I would, like anybody else would, blatantly, solemnly reject any association or attachments or anything to do with such a manner of a person. You feel me? Such a person, people, with such a, desolation of character, with something that's, the morality and things are non-existent, especially according to God's moral compass. And me being on the journey for God, me wanting to do the things that please God, They the embodiment of the total opposite of everything I represent. You know, so to be kidnapped by, you know, and held slave and captive remotely, you know what I'm saying, to people, places, and things that represent the total opposite of what you represent. You feel me? Like 100%. Then I mean, what better torment? You know what I'm saying? What worse torment than that? To be perpetually, indefinitely, and permanently, you know, a slave to people who have the total opposite values of you, but they got, you know, more finance, you feel me, than you, to be able to keep that. So every day you can imagine, you know what I mean? So in a way I kind of got punished, like, you know, for not being Einstein, you feel me, when I was like 3 years old or something like that. You feel me? That's pretty much at the end of the country, you know, enables child abuse. So we can't be against child abuse, but this still happening to Elijah. You know what I mean? Come on. Just for example.